Hi everyone, I apologize in advance if this video gets a little noisy, but it is super nice out today where I live, so I've got the windows open and my dog is just kind of like walking around, but it should be okay. I live in kind of a rural, I can't say that word, area, so there's not a lot of traffic or anything that goes by, but just wanted to give an advance warning. Today I want to talk about poverty. Absolute poverty versus relative poverty. If you are new to my channel, welcome. If not, welcome back. Be sure to click the subscribe button. It's free. Give this a thumbs up and leave a comment. Let me know your thoughts. So as I've mentioned on other videos, I do participate in child sponsorship programs, and the organization through which I sponsor has like a message board where sponsors can kind of just share some ideas or just talk to each other, talk about how their child is doing. Sometimes we share photos that we've gotten of our children, just share updates that we get and things like that. And recently on there was a post where somebody said that they get asked, why do you help in other countries? Why don't you just help in the United States? Now, I've kind of addressed this before in some previous videos about doing charity and posting it online, somewhat recent video, and I definitely talked about this in another video, but I can't remember what it was. Anyway, so I guess this person who posted it got confronted by like some member of their family, like, why aren't you just helping in the United States? And well, first of all, I strongly disagree with this. I believe that we are all on the same planet. We're all on the same floating rock that is called Earth, and we're kind of like all in this together. And I don't believe that country borders should be used for the start and stop of helping people. I don't think that you should only need to help people in your own country. Beyond that, I also think that people have free will to spend their money how they see fit. And I don't think that anyone should shame you for spending it how you see fit or like tell you how you should spend your money. I'm talking about normal people like you and me who participate and donate to charities. Now, one of the replies on that post was someone making a point that, what makes you think I don't help in the United States? First of all, I might donate a little bit in the United States and participate in food banks and back to school drives, but also I pay my taxes in the United States. That goes to schools, that goes to childcare, that goes to social welfare safety nets. But by virtue of living in the United States, without being political, we do kind of help out other people. There are a lot of countries who don't have those social safety nets, and of course there are countries who have much better social safety nets than the United States. But I think what's hard for people in the United States to understand is the abject poverty of some of these other countries, especially people who maybe haven't traveled or who haven't taken the time to watch documentaries, read books, educate themselves, and really open their mind to understand the vast difference between poverty in the United States versus poverty in other countries. So the World Bank defines extreme poverty as living on $1.90 a day or less. Now in 1993, I believe it was like $1.08, which is basically, you know, where the whole dollar a day premise came from. But now it's $1.90 because inflation does happen all over the globe. Now the $1.90 is per person per day. So if you know, a single mom has 2 kids, then that would be 3 people, so that would be $5.70 a day, if that makes sense. But let's take that. Let's take a single mom with 2 kids. One of my sponsor families is actually a single dad with 2 kids. The father does not work, but the mother is an overseas domestic worker and sends money home to the Philippines. So I think that's a perfectly good comparison. I don't know if that would technically count as 3 or 4 people, but we're gonna go with 3. Single dad, 2 kids. So that's $5.70 a day times 365 days a year. That's $2,080 a year. Now, the reported family income for this family is $170-ish, which I'm assuming is what the mother is able to afford to send home. $170 times 12 months a year is $2,040. So they are living under the International Extreme Poverty Guideline that is put forth by the World Bank. People argue that the cost of living is lower in those countries. Guess what? Yes, it's lower, but it's not that much lower. I will say that some of the other less developed, middle income, lower income countries don't have as many rules and regulations for housing and zoning and things like that. So people are able to kind of build little shacks and little slum towns, I guess, and live there without having to get the housing kind of zoned and passed and all of that. However, they do have to get the materials to build. Sometimes it's family land and they can live there for free. A lot of times they do have to pay rent on those properties that they live in as well. So no, it's not going to be $1,500 a month as rent where I live is. However, it is still going to be the equivalent or maybe more than that for their area. They also have to buy food, school supplies, clothing, hygiene items, just basically all of the basic things that people have to buy. And those countries, unfortunately, don't really have social safety nets. So if you are living in extreme poverty in the United States, you're gonna get free housing. It might not be ideal, but you're gonna get it. You're gonna get food stamps. It might not be a ton of food stamps, but you're gonna get money for food. You're also gonna be able to get grants for education if you wanna go to college. And so I think people in more developed countries, especially the United States, tend to not realize that we do have safety nets that other countries just simply don't have. So the World Bank has separated countries into low income, lower middle income, upper middle income, and high income. I guess there's not a middle. But anyway, for low income countries, the poverty rate is $1.90 a day, and 45.8% of people are living in that extreme poverty. Lower middle income countries is $3.20 a day, again, per person. And actually, the Philippines is considered a lower middle income country and not a low income country. So this family is living at the poverty guideline of extreme poverty for the lowest income countries, but they're living in a lower middle income country, which is $3.20 a day would be considered poverty. So $3.20 a day times a family of 3 times 365 days would be $3,504. So they would need another $1,300 to still be living in poverty. For upper middle income countries, the World Bank has put that rate at $5.50 a day. And for high income countries, the World Bank has put that at $21.70 a day. That would be considered living in extreme poverty. So a family of 3 at $21.70 a day in a higher income country is $23,761 a year. And honestly, I think that's pretty much what the United States kind of has for guidelines. $23,000 for a single mom and 2 kids, or a single dad and 2 kids. Primary education isn't free in a lot of those lower income countries, whereas American families don't have to take out of that $23,000 to be able to pay school fees. Yes, they might still have to buy school supplies, but let's be honest, teachers buy that stuff, people donate that stuff. Yes, they are still gonna have to buy clothes, but they don't have to pay school fees. Kids are gonna get free meals at school in the United States. They get free breakfast and free lunch. They're not going to be getting that in those lower income countries. So they have to take out of their low income, their already low income, money for food and school fees and things that Americans just don't have to take out of their low income. So living in absolute poverty is very different than living in relative poverty, and I think that that's something that is so important to understand. Now, there are people in the United States living in absolute poverty, but it's just not as high of a rate as in some of those other countries. So I just feel that education is so important. Wow, loud vehicle. Nice day to go dirt biking, I guess. So keep in mind, the lowest income countries are going to be countries like Ethiopia. Countries that are considered lower middle, with the $3.20 a day range is going to be Egypt, India, Philippines. The upper middle, $5.50 a day range is Brazil, Jamaica, South Africa. And then from that upper middle, $5.50 a day, it goes all the way up to $21.70 a day for the high income countries. So that just shows you how much of a disparity there is. And again, like I mentioned, the cost of living might be lower, but it's not that much lower. And in some ways, it's actually more expensive because they have to pay for things that we don't have to pay for here. And that's why I help in other countries. Yes, sometimes I donate in the United States, but I don't think that charity needs to start and end at geopolitical borders, and I wholeheartedly believe, another dirt rake, and I wholeheartedly believe that we are all on the earth together. And that is why I choose to help who I help. Not that I owe anyone an explanation, not that you guys owe anyone an explanation of who you help and why, but I just wanted to shed some light on those poverty guidelines that a lot of people, I don't think, truly comprehend the disparities that there are in the world.